Deadlock is gonna be one of the biggest games in the world. It has been absolutely blowing up this past month, reaching almost 100k online players every single day, gaining crazy momentum on social media, and that's while being in an invite-only closed alpha. So what makes Deadlock so special, and why are so many people already calling it the next big thing? Deadlock is a third-person MOBA shooter developed by Valve, the same company behind giants like Counter-Strike, Dota 2, Half-Life and Team Fortress. When Valve makes something competitive, people pay attention, and Deadlock is no exception. It is a 6v6 game built around 3 lanes, similar to traditional MOBAs. At the time of making this video, there are 36 heroes and over 170 items, which are divided into 3 groups called Weapon, Vitality and Spirit items. And these numbers are constantly evolving as the game is still in development. But calling Deadlock just a MOBA or just a hero shooter doesn't explain it at all. Deadlock is a mix. You have lanes, you farm, you control objectives like in other MOBAs. But you're also aiming in real time, moving in third person, dodging, jumping, sliding like in third person shooter. And all of that is happening at the same time. And that's where Deadlock starts to feel different. Movement in Deadlock is something that I've never seen before in other MOBAs. You can double jump, slide, wall jump, air dash, zipline, and because every hero has access to that mobility, everyone is just constantly repositioning around the map. So fights feel way more chaotic, but at the same time way more skill based. Because if you're the god of movement in Deadlock, you can escape from almost every fight. Then there's the item system. At first, there was a limit of 4 items per item group, but they removed that. And now you have full freedom with your build. And that completely changed how the game feels. Because now you're not locked into one correct way to play a hero. The same hero can feel completely different depending on the build. One game you can go full damage, another game more sustain, another more spirit damage. And because of that, you constantly have to adapt, not just to your team, but to what the enemy is building too. For example, if you're playing against Victor that has crazy lifesteal, you can buy an item called Healbane for 1600 souls for a healing reduction, so now it will be a lot easier to kill him. Souls are the main currency in Deadlock. You get them from lane troops, jungle camps and map objectives like urns and slot machines, which all comes down to macro gaming. Macro gaming is basically positioning, timing and mechanical execution. It's about how well you understand the tempo and nuances of the game. So when you combine all of that, it creates a game that genuinely feels very fun to play as you're always doing something. Even if you've played MOBAs for years, Deadlock doesn't feel generic. And that's why a lot of people are already calling Deadlock one of the best games out there. First, the mix itself is unique. We've seen MOBAs and hero shooters before, but Deadlock is a mix of both. Then the heroes. Every character feels unique and interesting, both visually and mechanically. Abilities are very strong and impactful in each hero, and the balance philosophy of Deadlock feels very different from traditional MOBAs. The Deadlock logic is, if every hero is overpowered, then no one is overpowered. And that creates carry potential for everyone. Almost every hero can take over fights, take some crazy clutches and punish your mistakes. And sometimes these outplays can genuinely turn the game around in your team's favor in a matter of seconds. So Deadlock feels very dynamic, which considering modern people's attention span is a good thing. Another thing that makes Deadlock stand out is the flexibility. There aren't strict roles that you should follow like in traditional MOBAs. You can play the same hero in different ways depending on your build, as you can shift and adapt your playstyle based on what your team needs. That kind of freedom makes Deadlock appealing to a bigger audience. But here's the biggest indicator that Deadlock is gonna blow up, and that being the fact that Deadlock already has a big community and is averaging 100k online players daily while being an invite-only closed alpha. Also, Deadlock is the most wishlisted upcoming game on Steam right now, and in my opinion, that doesn't happen by accident. Personally, I think that Deadlock has one of the biggest potentials in the modern gaming industry because these type of games that push the boundaries are always rewarded in terms of success. So if Deadlock continues on this trajectory, it doesn't just have casual success potential, it has esports potential as well. Organizers are already testing the competitive scene and there have already been competitive events, including a 10,000 Deadlock Invitational tournament. Also, Valve has a lot of experience in building long-lasting competitive disciplines. And if they fully commit to Deadlock the way they did with Dota 2 or Counter-Strike, then the ceiling is extremely high. So will Deadlock be the game of the future? Well, it's hard to predict because it's still early and the game is constantly evolving right now, but based on the mechanics, uniqueness and the early player interest, it seems for me like Deadlock has a bright future. And if it is, then we're watching the beginning of it right now. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.